Now, when the collection bonus was announced, I knew there were plans afoot. I knew I had to go out there and maximise the existing structures in my club to the best of my ability with this new bonus in mind ahead of the new season. Now, this video, if you've been playing this game anywhere near the same length of time as me, there's going to be plenty of food for thought here for you. If you're brand new, this is going to give you an insight into the future for how this collection bonus works and how you can take advantage of it as you progress through your Sorare journey. At any point in the video today, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel, share and retweet and all that good stuff, guys. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the new season starts, and we cannot do that without you. So please do, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, please. And let's just get stuck into it. Now, what do I mean exactly by plans were afoot? Now, I said it in all my kind of preview and unboxing content around the time is this is Sorare's battle against FIFA's chemistry in Ultimate Team. This is their equivalent. This is their tie-in, their thing that gives your team that little bit different of an edge against every other team out there. And if you want to learn more about the collection bonus and how it actually works, I'll link a video down in the description and there'll be a wee pop-up up in the window somewhere around here. If we're going to take this seriously, the first thing you think about and the first thing you realise is first owner status is long gone for some of these cards, and that's the ones that we're starting with. The historic cards that you've got, that you've been accruing up to level 16 and above, you know, you've got some good XP, they've been on the leaderboard for you and they've been leveling up. Core pieces of your gallery is what this is all centered around. And like I say, if you're brand new, you might not have even bought your core guy yet, but when you do, this is what we're thinking about. Now, one of the core players in my club, and he's not a core player, well, he is a core player down to utility historically, even though this season's been a bit choppy, but he's a real core part of my club's identity, my club's history, my club's philosophy, and that is my OG 1 of 100 Kosei Tani. Now, I've got first owner status on him. I've got the number 1 as well. Unfortunately, he's not also jersey number 1, which is a bummer. But this is the guy I've had since day 1. I've got him up to level 20, and I'm ride or die on this guy for the rest of his career now, the way I'm sitting. So when this came out, first thing I'm thinking is, great, my Tani by itself, because it's first owner and it's number 1, gets me enough points. He's getting 1% collection bonus by himself. Fantastic. But he's on 70. So if I could get something else that would get me 40 points, a number 1 or a jersey mint, don't care who, don't care how much, as little as possible, I can buy an extra 1% for my Tani. And for £7.71, I found Ko Sawada, who is a red X card, which means he doesn't play football in any Opta-covered leagues that are on Sorare, a useless card. £7 it cost me, but he's a number 1, so he's worth enough points on the collection bonus that I am now on to level 2 in this, and I get my Tani to get an extra 2% on every score that he's going to play in any division where the scores are taking extra bonuses into account. It, funnily enough, makes me the 50th best collector of Shonan Belmare for this year. I'm in a similar situation with my Wirtz where I'm first owner on him, but he's not a number 1, so he's only on 40 points and he has the 1% himself. And when I look across this Leverkusen team, I would love a Frimpong, and there's 1 or 2 other guys, yeah, okay, I wouldn't mind him in my team, and yeah, he's a good player, and oh, he's in fashion now and whatever. And I could maybe get up to 2%, but there's not enough here for me to get really excited about, so I didn't bother. I was quite torn in Kawasaki, because if I went and got a Mickey Yaman or 1 or 2 other guys that are quite cheap on the market and quite useful, my Hatate on 20 points, my first owner, Eo Tanaka, on 60, I could maybe get myself up to the 2% mark, but with AO, yeah, and with Rio, yeah. So again, not something I was desperate to do. Now you may be thinking, Quinny, you've got a lot of young goalkeepers that you're talking about to us here. And Trubin, honestly guys, with goalkeepers and with young backup goalkeepers, these are guys you buy and you lock in, particularly the good ones, and you're just waiting for them to come good eventually. And that's why I do consider them core pieces of my gallery. Trubin has just reached level 20 very recently, along with Kosei Tani. And again, I'm first owner on him, so he walks in with 40 collection points. The 1% bonus is guaranteed on him, which is brilliant. But can I get him to 2%? Because having a 12% goalkeeper, I think, will be a meta, will be a paradigm. And for these guys, Let's do it sooner rather than later. The day the collection bonus was announced, I found a Yevhen Konya-Planka, number 15 of 100, which means it's a jersey match, which is just as good as a number 1. And I managed to get him for £11. Now, the rest of the Shakhtar team has some good guys in it with some good profiles. Manor Solomon is firmly at the top of my to-get list. As long as one or two other guys, it might be quite handy that I do like anyway. But it could only be for my final piece to get me to that 2%, Marcus Antonio. An under 23 midfielder, and this is the chemistry I'm talking about now, because this guy gets the 2% bonus as well. He's an under 23 midfielder at Lazio that I'm a big fan of, and I've got a big hope for this coming season. And by getting a guy whose profile I require anyway in my club, but by getting this particular guy who I also like, and then getting him in this particular year to match up with my Trubin, my Konya-Planka, is the first little shoots of that chemistry. I just need Konya-Planka to get to 90 days. I'll get 10 more points, 2% locked in for Trubin, wherever he goes this summer, and Marcus Antonio. Now, I'm not a Valencia fan. I definitely wouldn't consider myself a Valencia fan, but I have been to a game. I have been to the Mestalla, and as you guys will know, two very important cards in my gallery has been my 1 of 100, King Carlos Soler, fully maxed out at the moment at PSG. Now, I think the future is bright for Soler under Luis Enrique at Paris Saint-Germain, and I think he is going to be a boss midfielder this season. He was great at Valencia and didn't really get much time to shine under Gaultier at PSG. At Valencia, he did have penalties and stuff like that going for him as well, but even outside of that, he's a really good player. I'm a big fan of him. I've been following him quite closely for about 3 years. And he's really important to me. But again, not first owner, but one of. So he's got 1% easy. And again, Ferran Torres, loved him at City, loved him at Valencia because of Sorare. And I went to see him play for Barca, seen him get decisives for Barca in the flesh, and he's still there. Really important card to me as well, fully maxed out also. So I've got two champion midfielders here who I think, I'm not too sure what I think about Ferran Torres, truth be told, but Soler I think is on for a big season. Now, with Marcus Antonio, we've filled an under 23 midfielder spot. I am desperate in need of midfielders of all shapes and sizes, and when I look at this Valencia team, I found some great options. Goncalo Guedes has been begging for a forward card. He finally has one at Benfica for this year. But I really need a challenger midfielder, and I think Goncalo Guedes at Benfica, it doesn't matter if he's a mid or a forward. The difference in points is so negligible. I think he's going to come into some really good form next year and finally deliver on some of that promise he's had. There's nothing special about this card, so for the collection bonus, it's a sheer 20 points, which leaves me needing just 10 more points, but any card I buy eventually will be worth 20 points. And again, what profile of player am I missing? I need a challenger midfielder. Outside of Celtic, I don't have anything going at the moment. And when I look at this team, we have a hero in this Valencia vintage that can add into a little bit of that chemistry. And it's Daniel Wass, because I've got Jordan Larsson at Copenhagen. Daniel Wass is in the Danish league as well for Brøndby. He's been a bit of a killer. He's going to get 2% bonus for walking into this collection now. And his short time back in Denmark, he's been a formidable challenger midfielder that I can use with my other cards that I've got with good effect. Now with Celtic's current season, I've not done much since the thing came out. I've got a few footholds here on a decent bonus to build on, which is cool. But for last season, I have went and made some acquisitions. I've got Anthony Ralston Champion Edition card in now for my troubles. I've traded in for Kyogo. I've traded in for Jota. I've traded in for Maeda to all be in the hoops versus the previous editions of the card I had, and I bought off a friend of the channel, Champion Edition Leia Labada. So really good, strong squad here, all up to the 4% mark when the thing, I've got 90 days to tick on one or two. And then we maybe think about the assault towards the 5%, but I think 4% might be the nosebleed for this squad. But the last thing I'll say for rares, and this is the last thing that you'll see will really pull this chemistry thing in together, okay, is I already had the 2% guaranteed for this Leipzig collection. First owner on Angelino. First owner on Guardiola. First owner on rookie Sidney Rehbigger, which is cool as well. So I already got that 2% locked in. Is there someone in this Leipzig squad I need? Well, I do. I could need a champion defender because I need centre-backs like I've been telling you, and don't have that much depth out there, don't have that much high quality. Now, with who's in this squad and what's available, my budget, etc., and thinking about that chemistry, I went out, guys, and I went on a wee bit of a limb, a wee bit of a hunch that I'm doubling down on here. And I brought in Nordi Mukiele, also now at PSG, just like Carlos Soler. So I've got Soler and Nordi Mukiele on 2% kickers at different clubs. And I think now that Sergio Ramos is gone, I don't know if they will play free at the back, but Hakimi has also been linked away. So I think the future looks bright for Mukiele in Paris. With Lucas Hernandez coming in, that does feel like back three for me of Hernandez, Marquinhos and Mukiele, which is golden. And I think having a PSG centre-back is going to be brilliant for me, as well as a PSG midfielder, hopefully. So that's where, hopefully, a little bit of that chemistry comes in. I'm going to have a PSG little stack from a Leipzig guy on 2% and a Valencia guy on 2% that have got nothing in common other than the fact that I've bought them both for ages and liked them and whatever. Obviously, I've had Mukiele, sold them, and this is a different one, but you understand what I'm saying. Now, with Super Rares, it's been very, very different. Okay, now I've not managed to do much, okay, but what little I have done is, as you'll know, I won a Wilfie Nonto, 1 of 10. So I'm first owner, number 1. This is a 70-point card, gets 1% guaranteed, and gets me within a sniff of getting to that 2%. Now, ideally, for the Super Rare collection, I'm thinking about how achievable is 3% before I embark on this, because I do think that's the nosebleed for Super Rares. If you get above that, it's a real miracle, honestly. But having a one-of first owner is a huge point getter. So the Nonto here is going to be a big card for me as well. So this extra XP helps him. It's him I'm helping. I'm not buying cards for the sake of it. He feels worth extra XP if I can make it happen. And it seems all but confirmed that Mark Roca is going to go on loan, option to buy, obligation to buy maybe, or whatever it is, I don't know, to Real Betis to replace William Carvalho. He was available very cheap on the market, and a super rare mid of that caliber is always welcome at my club. And the added points that he gives me puts me right into touch of that 2% on this Leeds United collection. I've not done anything else about it yet, but I'm having a look and I'm trying to evaluate some of these cards, maybe some of the moves that they will make, they could make. Maybe another Leeds United super rare is in my future, and I get those 3, potentially, definitely 2 for the ones I've got, really powerful guys into that extra 2% kick. And I've tried to do the same thing with Girona. As you guys will know, I've got Jan Couto, 1 of 100 first owner that I've had for ages, and he's not done much for me, but I like him. He's really young. He's got a big future, in my opinion. And at the very end of the season, I got, for what I believe to be a total bargain, Rodrigo Riquelme. So I'm thinking, Jesus, man, 2 really good young players that I think have got a great future ahead of them. The more XP I can bank onto these 2 guys, the better. And by pure luck and chance, this guy, who's a DNP out of his eyeballs, was auctioning a 1 of 10 first owner opportunity, a 70-point card, you know, 60 quid. I was like, do you know what? I don't mind that for some permanent super rare XP. So I don't know what this guy's ever going to do, if anything, but I don't care, because now I've got Riquelme and Couto, 2 potentially very powerful under 23 players for a couple of years, up to that 2% mark, which is absolutely great. For Celtic, I did have a wee bit of that already. I'm exploring Celta Vigo because I've got a 1 of Brais Mendes here, and I've got this first owner, which is nice, Medrano, and I'm only 10 points away. So any card, if I could pick MD up for buttons, it would just get this Brais a tiny bit more powerful, and Brais is a huge card for me, a huge card in my gallery. And again, for the few Celtic super rares I have, I'm quite glad with the bonus I've got on them, and the fact I've managed to get 2 first owners when that was going, so that's nice. But for me, like, this is the start of it for my club. I don't think there's any more historic ones like you've just seen on screen today, me having to go and firm out, get the 2 and 3% locked in that I think is achievable with guys I would want and need anyway. Because this is going to be the chemistry of FC Barcelona, my Sorare club. When I'm going out to the leaderboards and people will be thinking, how's he got so much XP on this guy and that guy? And they're playing the same team, but they've got different shirts on because they used to play other places and, you know, all the rest of it. And then these are the differences in combinations and tactics that probably this season, but the longer the game goes on, will be the difference categorically, you know. So I'm quite happy with those firming of the foundations I've managed to do over the first couple of weeks. And like I said, I don't think there's any other stones left to be unturned with that, really. It's just a wee bit more of, if opportunity arises, if opportunity strikes, then maybe with Leipzig or Valencia, or, you know, some of these things that are burning away, I might go after it. But what it will do is, for this coming season, it is going to laser focus my approach on new card acquisition, because I will, in the spirit of Sorare, in the spirit of my own enjoyment of the game, I like following teams and I like getting bought in. So maybe I won't buy too much early season, with the view of, if I do fall in love with a new club naturally, like I do on the channel from watching games and everything, then I want to go into that collection a little bit more. I'm very keen and very motivated to get some Man City cards in my life, particularly first owner ones from this season while they're still going, because first season winning the Champions League is a pretty big deal, you know. Unfortunately, not got much of a wallet to action that at the moment, but I'm going to do my best, because this is definitely the Man City season I want to buy into. And unfortunately, time is getting away from me, and so is my wallet in that regard. So wish me luck on that front. Let me know how you've been getting on with the collection bonus. I know a lot of regulars on the channel have done a lot of this stuff quite quickly. Is this giving you any food for thought? Are you in the process of doing something similar? I always enjoy reading the comments on strategy videos like this, so I can't wait to check them out. At any point, if you did laugh, you learned, or liked something, or whatever, I don't know. I hope you liked and subscribed to the channel already. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.